The lights in the diplomatic chamber flickered as Lieutenant Samantha Reeves straightened her uniform one last time. She took a deep breath. This meeting would change human history forever. "Ready, Lieutenant?" asked Captain Frank Miller, his weathered face showing both excitement and concern. "As ready as anyone can be to meet aliens, sir," Samantha replied. The human delegation consisted of 12 people, military officers, scientists, and diplomats. They had traveled for 3 months aboard the Starship Liberty to reach this neutral space station where humanity would first officially meet the Zarkonian Empire. Samantha was there because of her background in military intelligence. She spoke 4 Earth languages and had a gift for reading body language. The brass hoped these skills might help with alien communication too. The doors slid open. 7 tall figures entered. The Zarkonians stood nearly 7 feet tall with smooth pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer under the lights. Their eyes were large and completely black, set in angular faces with no visible noses, just breathing slits. They wore elaborate uniforms with symbols that Samantha guessed showed their rank. "Welcome," said Dr. Alan Wright, stepping forward as the human spokesperson. "We come in peace and friendship from Earth." The tallest Zarkonian moved forward. "I am High Commander Vextil. We accept your greeting." The alien's voice came through the translation devices with an odd musical quality. For 2 hours, the meeting progressed smoothly. The aliens seemed curious about humans, asking many questions about Earth. Samantha noticed they seemed particularly interested in human warfare and defenses, but that made sense for a first contact. "Your species has advanced quickly," said Vextil, "especially in weapons technology. Most interesting." Samantha felt a small chill at those words. Something in the alien's tone didn't match the friendly words. She caught Captain Miller's eye and gave a small warning nod. "Perhaps we could discuss trade opportunities," Dr. Wright suggested, not noticing the tension. "Yes, trade." Vextil made a gesture to one of the other aliens. "But first, a customary drink to new alliances." Servers brought in glasses filled with a clear blue liquid. Samantha watched carefully as everyone was served. "To peaceful relations," Dr. Wright said, raising his glass. Before anyone could drink, Samantha noticed the Zarkonians' breathing slits narrow, a sign of tension or excitement. She didn't know alien biology well enough, but her instincts screamed danger. "Wait," she started to say. In that instant, the room erupted in chaos. The lights cut out completely. In the sudden darkness, Samantha heard the horrible sounds of energy weapons firing and human screams. She dropped to the floor, reaching for her sidearm that wasn't there. No weapons had been allowed in the diplomatic meeting. "Ambush!" Captain Miller shouted before his voice was cut short. Samantha crawled toward the door, but strong hands grabbed her. A cloth covered her face. The sweet-smelling chemical made her head spin. As consciousness faded, she heard the alien speaking, no longer bothering with the translation devices. "Take this one alive. The commander wants a subject for interrogation." "Why this one?" "Intelligence officer. Likely has the information we need about their weapon systems." Samantha tried to fight the darkness closing in. Her last thought before passing out was that she needed to remember her training. In captivity, reveal nothing. Stay alive. Find a way home. She woke to blinding white light and searing pain. Her body felt like it was floating. When her vision cleared, Samantha saw she was suspended in some kind of energy field in a sterile white room. Her uniform was gone, replaced by a simple gray garment. A door slid open. A Zarkonian entered, followed by 2 assistants pushing a cart of strange instruments. "Human," the alien said, "I am Chief Interrogator Vrilix. You will tell us about your planet's defenses and secret weapons. Everyone breaks eventually. How long it takes is up to you." Samantha said nothing. She closed her eyes and prepared herself for what was coming. Vrilix moved around the room slowly, checking his instruments. His long blue fingers adjusted dials and settings with practiced precision. Samantha watched him from where she hung suspended in the energy field. The floating sensation was making her sick, but she kept her face blank. "Your species is physically unimpressive," Vrilux said without looking at her. "Soft skin, weak muscles, no natural weapons." He turned to face her. "And yet you have developed planet-killing technology faster than any species we have encountered." Curious, Samantha remained silent. Her military training had prepared her for capture and interrogation, though no one had expected it would be aliens doing the questioning. "You should know that in the 12 star systems, the Zarkonian Empire rules. I am known as the one who extracts truth," Vrilux continued. "No subject has ever left this room with secrets intact." 2 assistant interrogators entered. One was tall like Vrilux, but thinner with lighter blue skin. The other was shorter, stockier. They wore matching gray uniforms with strange symbols on the chest. "This is Mezek," Vrilux pointed to the taller one. "And Grell." He indicated the shorter alien. "They will assist me in learning what your military is hiding." Samantha focused on her breathing. In, out, slow and steady. She recalled her training officer's words. "The first rule of interrogation, resistance, is to control what you can control. You may not control the situation, but you can control your breathing. Normally, we would simply extract the information directly from your mind," Vrilux said, lifting a silver device that looked like a crown with wires. "But your species has an unusual brain structure. Our standard devices are incompatible." Samantha felt a small spark of hope at this news. Vrilux nodded to Mezek, who pressed a button on the wall console. The energy field holding Samantha shifted, sending waves of pain through her body. It felt like every nerve was on fire. She bit her lip but made no sound. "Pain is the simplest motivator," Vrilux explained. "Tell us about your planet's defenses, and the pain stops." Samantha stared straight ahead. In her mind, she began reciting multiplication tables. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. A simple mental exercise to focus her thoughts away from the pain. Vrilux looked puzzled. "Your vital signs show you are in extreme pain, yet your stress indicators are stabilizing. How is this possible?" Grell adjusted something on his monitoring device. "The readings are accurate, Chief Interrogator. Perhaps their species processes pain differently." The energy field intensified. Samantha's vision blurred, but she continued her mental exercise. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. After what seemed like hours, Vrilux signaled, and the pain stopped. Samantha hung limply in the field, sweat soaking her gray garment. "Interesting," Vrilux said, studying the monitors. "Your pain threshold is remarkable for such a physically unimpressive species." Mezek approached with another device. This one looked like a mask. "This will simulate drowning without the mess of actual water," he explained. When they placed it over Samantha's face, the sensation of water filling her lungs was immediate and overwhelming. Her body fought desperately for air that wouldn't come. Still, she made no sound. In her mind, Samantha was no longer in the sterile white room. She was back home in Nebraska, running through fields of corn as a child. The golden stalks towered above her, the sun warm on her skin. She held onto this memory as her body struggled. After removing the mask, Vrilux looked troubled. "Check the neural scanner again. Something is wrong." Mezek examined the readings. "The scanner is functioning properly, but there's something unusual here. When the pain reaches its peak, there's a reflection pattern in her neural pathways. I've never seen anything like it." "Impossible," Vrilux snapped. "Prepare the sensory manipulation chamber. Commander Drall wants results by the next cycle." As they removed Samantha from the energy field, her legs buckled beneath her. The aliens dragged her toward another room. "You will break, human," Vrilux said. "They all do eventually." Samantha looked directly into his black eyes for the first time. She said nothing, but something in her steady gaze made Vrilux step back slightly. "Take her to the chamber," he ordered, and increased the neural monitoring. There's something different about this one. Commander Drall stormed into the observation room, his tall frame stiff with anger. The other Zarkonians immediately stood straighter, their breathing slits narrowing in fear. 3 full cycles and no results. Drall's voice was cold. "Explain yourself, Vrillix." The chief interrogator gestured to the screens showing Samantha in the sensory manipulation chamber. She sat perfectly still despite the flashing lights and piercing sounds designed to break her concentration. "This human is unusual, Commander. Their resistance does not make sense for such a physically weak species." Drall moved closer to the screen. "I don't care about your excuses. The human fleet is regrouping. Our scouts report they have ships we've never seen before. We need to know their weapons capabilities now." "Yes, Commander." Vrillix bowed his head. "I will employ stronger methods immediately." After Drall left, Vrillix turned to Mezek. "Prepare the neural scrambler. Full intensity." Mezek's breathing slits fluttered nervously. "Chief Interrogator, the scrambler has never been used at full intensity on any species. The effects could be unpredictable. Are you questioning my orders?" Vrillix's black eyes narrowed. "No, Chief Interrogator. I will prepare the scrambler." In the chamber, Samantha had lost track of time. Days, weeks. Her body ached from the constant stress, but her mind remained her own. She focused on memories of home, the smell of her mother's cooking, the sound of her father's laugh, the feel of warm summer rain on her skin. The door opened. Vrillix entered with 3 assistants. They wheeled in a new machine, larger than the previous ones. "Your resistance is impressive, human," Vrillix said. "But it ends now. This device will break through whatever mental barriers you've created." Samantha was strapped into a chair. Metal bands closed around her head. She closed her eyes, retreating deeper into her memories. When they activated the machine, it felt like her mind was being torn apart. Every thought scrambled, every memory twisted. Through the pain, Samantha held on to a single image, the old oak tree behind her childhood home. She visualized its roots going deep into the earth, steady and unmovable. An hour passed. 2. The machine hummed louder. Mezk checked the readings. "Chief Interrogator, something is happening with the equipment. The power fluctuations are outside normal parameters." Vrillix ignored him. "Increase the intensity." "But sir, the readings show the neural energy is somehow being reflected back into "Increase it," Vrillix shouted. As the machine's power surged, Samantha's body tensed. A small trickle of blood ran from her nose, but still she made no sound. Then something unexpected happened. The machine began to spark. Grill, who was standing closest to it, suddenly clutched his head and let out a piercing scream. "My mind. Something's inside my mind." He collapsed to the floor, body convulsing. Vrillix stepped back in shock. "What's happening?" Mezek stared at the readings. "The neural energy. It's being reflected back through the machine, but amplified somehow." Another assistant fell to his knees, crying out in pain. Vrillix rushed to shut down the machine, but as he reached for the controls, a wave of agony hit him. Images flooded his mind. Not his memories, but alien ones. A small human child lost in a forest. A soldier watching friends die. Pain, fear, grief, but also determination. An iron will that refused to break. Vrillix staggered back, gasping. When the machine finally powered down, Samantha slumped in the chair, exhausted but conscious. In the silence that followed, Mezek helped Vrillix to his feet. "Chief Interrogator, what happened?" Vrillix looked at the human with new fear in his eyes. "Get the xenobiologist Tezra. Now. There's something about these humans we don't understand." Commander Drell's voice came through the communication system. "Vrillix, I've received reports of disturbances. What progress have you made?" Vrillix looked at Samantha, who had opened her eyes and was watching him steadily. "We need more time, Commander. This species has defenses we didn't anticipate." For the first time since her capture, Samantha smiled slightly. It was a small gesture, but it sent a chill through every Zarkonian in the room. Tezra, the Zarkonian xenobiologist, studied the brain scans with growing interest. His small frame looked delicate next to Vrillix and Mezek, but his eyes showed sharp intelligence. "Fascinating," he said, pointing to patterns on the screen. "The human brain has structures I've never seen before." Vrillix paced the lab impatiently. Commander Drawl doesn't care about fascinating. He wants information about Earth's weapons. Tezra magnified a section of the scan. "Look here. This part of the brain appears to function as a mirror for psychic energy. When your machines attack her mind, this structure reflects the energy back." "Impossible," Vrillix said. "No species has natural defenses against our technology. These humans evolved on a particularly dangerous world," Tezra explained. "Their bodies show evidence of surviving countless threats. Perhaps this mental defense developed naturally." Mezek looked thoughtful. "This would explain why our earlier subjects died during interrogation. We thought they were weak, but perhaps their minds fought back until their bodies failed." In her cell, Samantha lay on a thin mat, gathering her strength. The last session had nearly broken her. Not from pain. She had learned to manage that. But from the effort of controlling whatever was happening in her mind. She had felt the connection when the machine activated. Somehow she could sense the aliens' minds through it. Their thoughts had brushed against hers, and instinctively, she had pushed back. The door slid open. 2 guards entered, followed by Vrillix and a smaller alien she hadn't seen before. "This is Tezra, our xenobiologist," Vrillix said. "He has questions about your species." The smaller alien stepped forward. "Human, your brain has unique structures. Are you aware of any special mental abilities your kind possesses?" Samantha remained silent. She had no idea what they were talking about, but she wasn't going to give them any information. "We believe these structures allow you to reflect psychic attacks," Tezra continued. "During interrogation, our equipment affects your interrogators instead of you. Is this deliberate?" This was news to Samantha. She had felt something strange happening, but hadn't understood it. Carefully, she kept her face blank, giving nothing away. Vrillix made a gesture of frustration. "Enough questions. Commander Drell has authorized use of the soul extractor. Prepare the human." Tezra's breathing slits widened in alarm. "The soul extractor. That technology is forbidden except in the most extreme cases." "Commander's orders," Vrillix said firmly. Samantha was taken to a new room. This one was darker, with a single chair in the center surrounded by curved metal arms. The air felt heavy, charged with energy. "This device bypasses conscious resistance," Vrillix explained as they secured her to the chair. "It connects directly to your deepest memories and thoughts. No one has ever withstood it." Samantha focused on her breathing. In, out, whatever happened, she would not break. The machine hummed to life. The metal arms began to glow with a purple light. Samantha felt a presence pushing into her mind, stronger than before. It was cold, alien, searching for information about Earth's defenses. Instinctively, she imagined a mirror in her mind. The pushing sensation hit the mirror and reflected back. Vrillix suddenly screamed and fell to his knees. His assistants rushed to him, but he pushed them away. "What did you do?" he gasped, looking at Samantha with fear. The machine was still running. Samantha felt the connection growing stronger. Now she could sense not just Vrillix's mind, but the minds of all the Zarkonians in the room. Their fear, their confusion, their pain, all flowing through the connection. Mezek rushed to shut down the machine. "Something's wrong. The soul extractor is pulling energy from us instead of her." When the machine finally powered down, Vrillix remained on the floor, trembling. The other Zarkonians backed away from Samantha, their black eyes wide with fear. "What are you?" Vrillix whispered. For the first time since her capture, Samantha spoke. Her voice was rough from disuse, but her words were clear. "Just human." Commander Drell slammed his fist against the wall. "What do you mean you can't continue the interrogation? You are the most feared interrogator in 12 systems." Vrillix stood with his head bowed. The chief interrogator looked different now. His blue skin had paled, and he twitched at small noises. "The human's mind. It does something to our equipment. And to us." "Nonsense," Drawl snapped. "They are primitives. Their technology is centuries behind ours." "It's not technology," Tezra said quietly from the corner. "It appears to be a natural ability. Their minds evolved differently from any species we've encountered." Drawl turned his cold gaze to the xenobiologist. "Explain." "When we use psychic tools on the human, her brain reflects the energy back. But not just as a mirror. It amplifies the signal and sends it back with emotional content." "Emotional content?" Drawl asked. Vrillix shuddered. "Pain. Fear. Not just her own, but what feels like the collective suffering of her entire species. It's overwhelming." In her cell, Samantha sat cross-legged on the floor. Now that she understood what was happening, she had been practicing. With each interrogation session, she had gotten better at controlling the reflection of energy. At first, it had been instinctive, but now she could direct it. The door opened and 4 guards entered. They kept their distance, watching her warily. "The commander wants to see you," one said. They took her to a large room with viewing screens showing stars and planets. Commander Drawl stood with his back to her when she entered. "Human," he said without turning, "you've caused quite a problem for my interrogation team." Samantha said nothing. Drawl turned to face her. 3 of my interrogators are now in medical care. Their minds damaged. How is a primitive species capable of this?" Samantha met his gaze steadily. "We survived on Earth. Many species survive on harsh worlds," Drawl said dismissively. "Not like Earth." Samantha's voice was quiet but clear. "We fought each other. We fought nature. We fought ourselves. For thousands of years." Drawl studied her. "Your species has only had space travel for a brief time. You are children playing with dangerous toys." "We grew up fast," Samantha replied. A communication device on Drawl's wrist beeped. He answered it and listened, his expression darkening. "Prepare the collective mineral extractor," he ordered. "I will oversee this personally." Tezra, who stood nearby, stepped forward. "Commander, the collective extractor uses 6 interrogators linked together. If the human's abilities affected single interrogators so severely, a collective attempt could be catastrophic. Are you questioning my orders, scientist?" Drawl's voice was dangerous. Tezra backed away. "No, Commander." Samantha was taken to a circular room. In the center was a platform with restraints. Around it were 6 smaller platforms where Zarkonians were being prepared with neural helmets. "This is our most powerful interrogation tool," Drawl explained. 6 minds working together, directed by our most advanced psychic technology. Nothing can resist it. As they secured her to the central platform, Samantha closed her eyes. She thought of Earth, of her family, of all humans throughout history who had endured suffering and survived. She felt strength flowing into her. The machine powered up with a deep hum. 6 minds pushed into hers at once, searching for information about Earth's defenses. Samantha didn't resist. Instead, she opened her mind completely. The effect was immediate and terrible. All 6 interrogators began screaming at once. Their bodies convulsed as they experienced not just Samantha's pain, but the echoes of all human suffering. Wars, plagues, natural disasters, personal tragedies. Thousands of years of pain compressed into seconds. Drawl watched in horror as his interrogators writhed in agony. "Shut it down," he shouted. But it was too late. The machine was designed to maintain connection until it extracted information. And Samantha was giving them information, just not the kind they wanted. When they finally managed to shut down the machine, all 6 interrogators lay unconscious. Medical teams rushed in. "What have you done?" Drawl asked, looking at Samantha with a mixture of fear and awe. Samantha looked at him calmly. I showed them what it means to be human. Word spread quickly through the detention facility. Whispers passed between guards and staff. 6 interrogators down at once. The human had done something impossible. Some said she was a weapon disguised as a person. Others claimed humans had evolved strange powers from their violent homeworld. Vrillik sat alone in his quarters, trembling. The images from the human's mind still haunted him. Endless war, suffering, resilience. How could any species endure such history and remain sane? A message arrived from Commander Drall. Prepare the Forbidden Protocol. Vrillik stared at the message in horror. The Forbidden Protocol was only theoretical, direct consciousness invasion. Instead of extracting information through machines, an interrogator would link their mind directly to the subjects. No barriers, no filters. It had never been attempted because the risks were too great. Drall entered without knocking. You receive my order. Commander, the Forbidden Protocol has never been tested. Vrillik protested. After what happened with the collective extractor. That is precisely why we must use it. Drall interrupted. Our standard methods have failed. This human has information we need. But sir, if her mind can overwhelm 6 interrogators through our machines, what will happen with direct contact? Drall's black eyes narrowed. Are you afraid, Chief Interrogator? Vrillik straightened his posture. I have served the Empire faithfully for 20 cycles. But this human, her mind is different. Then I will do it myself, Drall declared. Tezra, who had been summoned to monitor the procedure, gasped. Commander, the risk is too great. We need more time to study the human's abilities. The human fleet is regrouping, Drall said sharply. We don't have time. Prepare the link chamber. In her cell, Samantha sat in quiet meditation. Each interrogation session had made her stronger, more aware of her mind's strange power. She didn't understand it, but she could feel it growing. 4 guards approached her cell with extreme caution. One spoke through the barrier. Stand in the center of the room. Do not move. Samantha complied. She was too weak to fight physically, but her mind was now a weapon she was learning to control. They took her to a new chamber. This one was smaller, dimly lit with blue lights. In the center were 2 reclined seats facing each other. Commander Drall already sat in one. His uniform was different, simpler, with strange symbols glowing on the chest. Human, he said as they secured her to the other seat. You have proven difficult. Now we try something new. My mind will connect directly to yours. No machines, no barriers. Samantha studied him calmly. You've seen what happened to the others. They were weak, Drall said dismissively. I am not. Tezra approached nervously. Commander, final scans show the human's neural reflection ability has grown stronger with each interrogation attempt. Direct contact could be dangerous. Proceed, Drall ordered. Tezra placed a thin metal band around Drall's head, then a matching one on Samantha. The link will start slowly, then intensify, he explained. Commander, if you feel anything unusual, we can break the connection immediately. Drall nodded impatiently. Begin. The blue lights dimmed further. Samantha felt a gentle pressure in her mind, different from the invasive machines. This was more personal, more direct. She sensed Drall's consciousness touching hers. She remained perfectly still, her face showing nothing. But inside her mind, she prepared. The connection strengthened. Drall pushed harder, searching for information about Earth's defenses. Instead, he found a vast library of human suffering, courage, and resilience. Thousands of years of history flooded into his mind. Wars, plagues, disasters, personal tragedies, torture, genocide, but also love, sacrifice, courage, and hope. Drall's body went rigid. His mouth opened in a silent scream. The monitors showing his vital signs began flashing red warnings. Break the connection, Tezra shouted. 2 assistants rushed to remove Drall's headband, but the commander's hand shot up, stopping them. So much, Drall gasped, his voice barely audible. So much pain. How? How do you bear it? Samantha looked into his eyes. That's what makes us human. Drell's body convulsed violently. Blood trickled from his eyes and ears. His screams echoed through the chamber, a sound of pure terror and agony that chilled everyone present. When they finally broke the connection, Commander Drell collapsed, unconscious. The medical team rushed to stabilize him. In the chaos, no one noticed a young officer named Krell watching from the doorway, his expression thoughtful. Chaos spread through the detention facility. Commander Drell had been taken to medical in critical condition. Chief Interrogator Vrillix was missing. The 6 linked interrogators remained unresponsive. Fear took hold as rumors spread that the human prisoner had some kind of psychic weapon. In her cell, Samantha sat exhausted. Each mental battle had drained her, but she knew she had to stay alert. The Zarkonians would be desperate now, possibly dangerous. The door slid open. Samantha tensed, ready for another confrontation. A young Zarkonian officer stood in the doorway. His uniform was different from the others, simpler, with fewer markings. "My name is Krell," he said quietly, glancing over his shoulder. "We don't have much time." Samantha studied him cautiously. "What do you want?" "To help you escape." Krell stepped inside and lowered his voice. "I've disagreed with these interrogation methods from the beginning. What we're doing, it's wrong." "Why should I trust you?" Samantha asked. "Because right now, I'm your only chance." Krell held up a security card. "The senior officers are in emergency meeting. The medical bay is overwhelmed. This is our window." Samantha considered her options. She was too weak to escape on her own, and she had no idea where in the facility she was being held, or even where in space they were. "What happened to Commander Drell?" she asked. Krell's breathing slits narrowed. "His mind is broken. The medical team doesn't understand how. But I saw what happened. Your mind did something to him." "I didn't attack him," Samantha said. "I just showed him what it means to be human. Whatever you did, it's caused a division among our people. Some think humans are too dangerous to be allowed to live. Others," he paused, "others think we've made a terrible mistake provoking your species." Samantha stood up slowly, her legs shaky. "I need to contact my people. There's a communication array 3 levels up. I can get you there." The hallways were eerily empty as Krell led Samantha through the facility. Twice they had to hide from patrols, but Krell seemed to know all the blind spots in the security system. "Why is the Zarkonian Empire so afraid of us?" Samantha asked as they moved through a maintenance tunnel. "It's not your weapons," Krell explained. "We originally came to study your species because our scans detected unusual mental patterns. Your kind has mental abilities no other species we've encountered possesses." "We don't have psychic powers," Samantha said. "Not active ones, no, but your defensive capabilities." Krell shook his head in wonder. "Our scientists believe it evolved from your violent history. Your minds developed shields that reflect attacks back at the attacker." They reached the communication level. Krell disabled the security system on a door marked with alien symbols. "This is as far as I can take you," he said. "The array is through here. You have maybe 5 minutes before security discovers the breach." Samantha looked at the young officer. "Why are you helping me?" "Because I saw what happened to Commander Drell. I saw what humanity has endured. Your species has suffered more than most, yet you survived. You deserve a chance." Inside the communication room, Samantha worked quickly. The system was alien, but similar enough to technology she trained on. She managed to establish a secure channel to Earth's defense fleet. "This is Lieutenant Samantha Reeves, ID code Alpha 79er Delta. I'm alive and have critical intelligence about the Zarkonian forces." After transmitting her location and everything she learned about the Zarkonian weakness to human mental reflection, Samantha sent one final message. "Be advised. Humans possess natural defenses against Zarkonian psychic technology. Our minds reflect and amplify their attacks back at them. This is not a weapon we built. It's who we are." Alarms blared as security forces discovered the breach. Samantha knew she might not escape, but her message had gone through. Earth now had the information needed to defend itself. The door slid open. Krell stood there with 3 other young officers. "We need to move," he said urgently. "There's a shuttle bay on level 1. Not all Zarkonians agree with this war." Samantha followed them. For the first time since her capture, she felt hope. Not just for herself, but for peace between their species. Behind them, the facility continued to echo with the screams of interrogators who had learned the hard way. The human mind might be humanity's greatest weapon of all.